Welcome to the metaphysical journey. It is now time to reveal the messages from all three of the cards that I put out there for you to choose from. There was card number 1, number 2, or number 3. Each of the cards come from a different deck entirely. There were decks that I just pulled randomly from my deck closet. And what I noticed when I was looking more closely at the cards is that all three decks were published by Blue Angel Publishing. I didn't realize I had that many from them. So I found that kind of interesting that it was the same publisher that made all three decks that I randomly selected. The messages on each of the cards are a little different from each other, but all three have one thing in common. They are designed to help us on our spiritual journey and our path. So whether you chose just one of the cards or two or all three, I think all messages will be helpful to you. Now, also these messages come at a good time. When I asked Spirit, I said, please give messages for what we need right now in our spiritual life or on our life path. And the timing is good because on September 22nd, we have the fall or autumn equinox coming up. That's September 22nd in the Northern Hemisphere or September 20th in the Southern Hemisphere. So we have that coming up, and it's an interesting time of balance because in the equinox, the fall equinox, the days and nights are exactly the same period of time during that certain little window. And that is kind of on the spiritual thing. It's a time for us to really be looking more closely at our lives to see if our lives, if everything is balanced, if our spiritual life is in balance, is something wrong, is something for us to look at that maybe we need to try to rebalance the energy of that. Also, it's a time when we're transitioning from one season into the next. And it's also spiritually a time that we look at what comes next on our path. It's this summer has been a crazy time energetically. We've had the different portals, we've had full moon, we've had a variety of things going on. And all of us have been affected or impacted by that in one way or another. And there's been a lot of growth happening internally. So it is time to see what comes next. I'll start the readings for the cards. I hope that you find the message that you were seeking. For those of you that chose card number 1, that card came from the Lantern Oracle by Angelina Mirabito. And this card is Enough. You were born enough. Before I start the reading on this one, let me ask you a question. Do you really know what you're worth in the mind of spirit? Do you see the worth of your own spirit self? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see a person that's has super high self-esteem and is worth a lot? Or do you see a person that's always in service to other people and giving yourself away and really draining yourself? And that's what this card is about. It is time to look at yourself a little bit differently. A life constructed from self-compromise will eventually crumble from the inside out. And if you've always been the one to give to everyone else first and put yourself last, whether it's family members or people you meet out in the world and in life, if you always do that and put yourself last to give yourself away, you can't sustain that for long. And you are going to crumble from the inside out. And it's going to make you weak. And if you're really weak and worn out, you really aren't of service to really anyone, especially yourself. Now, you don't go out, no one goes out to just purposely compromise themselves with other people, meaning giving everything away. But it's something that we just kind of do. And many times it's because that's what we learned growing up. That's what we saw from other people, especially from a parent. They were just giving, giving, giving all the time, like our moms, for example. And so we assume that that's something we have to do. And in the process of that, you learn to not establish boundaries because you feel like you're not worthy of boundaries. Because when you're compromising all the time, your self-worth really goes down, and that creates a problem. So this card is saying, the message on this, it is time to stop and start re-examining or examine for the first time your self-worth. What are you worth? If you were on a store shelf and you had to put a price tag on you, what would it be? Would it be priceless or would it be bargain basement? And that's important of how you see yourself, because that's how you present yourself to the world. And that's how also you expect the world to present itself to you. So in the mind of spirit, you are a perfect, perfect spark of light. You're amazing. You're beautiful. And it's time for you to see that too. The card says that you were born enough. And that's really a super powerful message. It means you don't have to do anything whatsoever. You're already enough. The minute you wake up, the minute you do anything, you are already enough. You don't have to do more to prove that you're something that you're not. You don't have to earn the approval of other people, because in spirit's mind, you're perfection. So all that you have, all that you are, and all that you do, regardless of how you see it, all of that is enough. And the card, this message wants you to know that. Spirit wants you to know that. You're a beautiful being. Start to see that within yourself. So breathe, embrace yourself. Also, give yourself permission to simply be, with nothing else. Just be. Align your thoughts, your words, and your actions with your spirit self, your spirit side. And that's the side that steps in, that you give yourself away to other people, but it's for you too. Your spirit self is critical, and you are your spirit self's facilitator, not jailer. So set yourself free. I wanted to choose an angel card to go with these as well. And for this one, the angel card that came out was Raphael. Now, this is a great card. Raphael is the angel of healing, and he shows up whenever healing is needed, and you can call him whenever healing is needed. And sometimes the healing that we need is on the inside, and it's in our thoughts. It's how we feel about ourselves, that it's time to heal and let a lot of the past stuff go. Let the thoughts of other people, their opinions, and things that you're trying to achieve and live up to, let that go. You don't need it. You're enough exactly the way you are. So call Raphael. He'll be there to help you, and he'll assist you on this journey. So once again, you are enough. You were born enough. You're perfect just the way you are. For those of you that selected card number 2, this card comes from the Queen Mabe Oracle by Tess Whitehurst. And this card is Renew Thy Force. The message is rest, recharge, and heal your energy. Now, rest is very important for all of us, but it's very important for you right now if you selected this card, because your drive to move forward and you're pushing yourself, that is only depleting your spiritual battery. And it does a huge disservice to you. It makes you less powerful and effective. So in order to be at your top game, you have to stop and recharge. And rest is not, when that comes up, it doesn't mean just sitting back and doing absolutely nothing. Although that'd be nice, right? Just to sleep all day, and sleep is very important. Definitely get the sleep you need. But this is thinking about recharging in a little bit different way. So you can certainly, there's many things you can do, such as, meditation, journaling, sleeping, going and sitting in nature, going to a beach. Those are things that definitely help you recharge. But this is where you are getting empowering energy coming in. So it's finding things that bring in a different energy so resting means you're not putting energy out. You are allowing yourself to receive healing energy coming in. So whatever normally does that for you, that's what this message is about. It's time for you to do that. Now, as I mentioned at the very beginning of this, we have the equinox coming up. We've also had a lot of different things planetary happening. You've been through a lot. And so energetically, you've been all over the place, a lot of shadow work, all of that. And it's you've been putting a lot out, and it's time to start receiving some of this energy coming back in. So allow your intuition to guide you to what your soul needs to recharge. It'll let you know. And also review the areas of your life that are the most draining. That can be relationships. It can be really anything. Just, really feel into it. And those are things that you just dread doing. And make a list of those and figure out what those are. And then think about each one and ask yourself, what can I do to rebalance the energy there? It may be that there are some things that you just truly have to let it go. You can't do it anymore. Now, if it's something like a job that, of course, you have to have, what you can do on that is think about what it is that brings passion to you, what really lights your fire, so to speak, those little things, and see in your current job, if you don't like what you're in, see where you can apply some of those little passion spark areas into your job to kind of change it a bit. So you inject the energy into it. Jobs can be very draining. They can suck the life out of people. I fortunately have a job I absolutely love, but hasn't always been that way. And there are times I dreaded going to work, and we all do that. There's things we dread. So look at those situations and say, what can I do to put energy into it that will make it a little more tolerable? And start doing that, because you'll probably change the energy for everyone around you. So on this one, renew thy force. So it's about you boosting the force within you, your energy, make it stronger. So pull back all the energy that's yours and the stuff that's draining it from you. Get rid of that and boost yourself back up, and then project outward even stronger. So this is definitely a message of empowerment, because you have a lot inside of you. You're much stronger than you realize. So tap into that. I wanted to pull an angel card on this one too, and the angel that shows up is Uriel. And this is the angel of ambition. So this is perfect. And he shows up in life to say that you've been holding back on some areas of your life. You're holding back a little bit. Maybe you're putting energy in the wrong things, or it's just something not right, and you're holding back. It's time to step out there and put your full force into whatever you're going to do. So recharge, pull that energy back in, and just pump it out there. Aim higher and work towards your goal one step at a time, and Uriel is there to help you do that. So I hope this message hits where it needs to be with you. You're a powerful being. Accept that, recharge, renew, and go out there and hit it again. Thank you. I noticed that several of you chose card number 3. And probably because the back of the card is absolutely beautiful. And this is a beautiful deck. And this comes from the Blue Angel Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. And this card is Angel Song. Now, this message is different than the other, but it's still along the same lines. Angel Song. And this is lost and found. Lost and found. And this is referring to your spiritual path. Now, the message on this one is that you have been so focused on your goals, whether they're life goals, career goals, educational goals, or spiritual path goals. You've been so focused on that you've not possibly noticed that you've gotten off track a little bit. And that what's been happening is your spiritual path has been shifting because you've been shifting, but you're still focused on one particular goal. And it's easy to feel a little lost sometimes. So, and it's where it just doesn't feel right anymore. So you stop, you realize, you're like, okay, I've achieved this. Why am I not happy? I work so hard. What's the deal? Like, is that all there is? What a letdown. That's anticlimactic, So you find yourself in this position. It's like something feels off. And Angel Song is a card, a message that comes forward saying the angels want to help you find your way back. The angels are there. The guides are there, gently singing, trying to keep you on path. But you're so focused mentally that you're not feeling things spiritually or with your heart. And that's what this message is really about. So your path may have shifted because you've changed in the pursuit of your goal. You've been so focused on that. So you've grown through this. It wasn't a mistake. You've grown, you've learned about yourself. So all the work you put into this goal was okay. It was good because it helps. But when you stop and look at where you are, you're like, wait, something seems different. Where's the path? It's no longer where it was. It's moved. And that is normal because you have changed. So your path is going to change as well. So it's a matter of doing what feels right, not what intellectually sounds right. And when we're so focused on something that we're in our heads thinking about it, we're not thinking with our hearts. We're not really feeling into it. And that's what the guides ask you to do. So for so long, you've been guided by what you think you should do or what others say you should do. It's really time for you to be guided by your heart and start doing what you feel you should do. And that's the message of this card. I pulled an angel for you as well. And the angel is Cambiel, the angel of friendship. Now, we all need friends. We all want friends on our spiritual journey. We don't want to walk alone, but it's a solo journey, and we do to some degree. But the friendship, Cambiel is one that you can call, and there'll definitely be a friend there to walk with you. But more importantly, it helps you develop a better friendship or better relationship with yourself. And you, as your own friend, is the strongest friend that you can have. Now, why would you want to be friends with yourself besides the fact that you're an amazing person? But because on our path, on our journey, and in life, we listen to so many other people. We listen to our other friends giving us advice, but they don't know your journey like you do. So it's very important when you have those moments where you can just listen to yourself, listen to your heart, let your heart be your friend, and create a better friendship, a better relationship with yourself so that you don't have to go to outside sources for information. If it's not needed, you can rely on yourself and rely on your own intuition. That's the best friend you can ever have. So trust your intuition and your guides as you move forward on your path. Thank you.